Tell me about collaborating with M. Night Shyamalan. This is, I love it because it's like the most unlikely couple ever, the two of you.
Yeah.
And I'm so intrigued by it.
Yeah, that's what people thought. Knight and I didn't necessarily feel that way. And I got a couple of funny stories. But when I think about Knight's work, I think about someone who really concentrates on character.
Yeah.
He tries to keep the audience engaged.
Yeah.
He tries to spin stories in new directions and tries to surprise them at the end. Right. Well, I try to do all those things in my novels.
Yep.
Yes, it's a different genre. But here's the thing. Here's what not everyone knows. The very first novel I wrote, but it was never published. I was 19 years old when I wrote my first novel and finished it. It was a horror novel. It was supernatural. Okay.
Wow.
That's part one. Part two of the story is this. Way back when The Notebook, the film, was being adapted by New Line Cinema. They had a guy named Jan Sardi who wrote the original script and then did a pass on it. But New Line decided they wanted to go in an entirely new direction and get the script rewritten from scratch. The first writer they produced for that, the first screenwriter they approached for that was M. Night Shyamalan.
No way.
Yes, he had written this love story. He got known for that, and he couldn't do it because he was working on another film at the time, which was called The Sixth Sense.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Right. And not a lot of people know that. And it's interesting to me. So Knight, when he told me this story, he was very proud. He's like, I had just written this spec screenplay and this other one and done this small film. And all of a sudden I'm being approached by studios now to adapt this very major book. And he said, being asked to write the script, he said, was the first time he felt like, this is it. I'm actually going to make it in Hollywood. And so it was a big, big deal for him. So for both of us, it's like this full circle type thing, right? We both went back to our roots, and it was, it worked out. It was fun. It was, I've got nothing but great things to say about working with Knight, and it was really an extraordinary experience.
What is your favorite Knight movie?
Well, of course, The Sixth Sense is good, but I really like his, everyone loves The Sixth Sense. It's kind of like saying, what's The Notebook for me? It's if people who, I say, hey, what's your favorite Nicholas Sparks book? They say The Notebook. All I can think is, oh my God, that means I've been going downhill for 25 years now. But it's the way it works. So I really liked his trilogy, right? Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. I thought that was really well-conceived. It was a well-conceived individual film and a well-conceived trilogy. But what I really like about it was that was on the cutting edge. In other words, it kind of foreshadowed the entire, for good or for bad, the comic book movie in Hollywood, right? I mean, it was the first, he's literally, these people are this. If you think about the very first one, you got your the characters talking about, I think comic books are bigger than that, and sure enough, after Unbreakable comes the entire Marvel universe and everything like that in a big way. So I just thought it was extraordinary. But I've liked pretty much everything he's done, and I've seen everything he's done. So it was exciting.
My favorite is Signs.
Oh yeah.
I think Signs is one of the, listen, it was a huge hit. People love it. It's not that it's underappreciated. With that said, it's underappreciated.
Oh, sure. I mean, I would agree. It was funny. I went with Knight because they were having a film festival at Lincoln Center, kind of honoring Knight's work. And, he spoke about Signs a little bit. He spoke about The Village. And it was interesting what they asked him to do. They said, okay, we're going to be doing double features, one of your movies, and then you pick something to pair it with. And the night I was there, it was The Village, which of course, like so many of his films, has a bit of a surprise at the end. He paired that with the original Planet of the Apes, right?
Wow.
With the big surprise. And, just interesting.
And listen,
it was fun to watch him work because he's really and truly a genius. I've worked with a lot of directors, but he's very hands-on, right? He writes the script, he hires everyone he's going to work with, he storyboards every single scene, camera angles, the size of the actors in. So he knows all this. It's in a big book, and he pastes it up in the production office so everyone literally knows we're filming this. It's from this angle. This is how far people are away. And then he's just, he's quite dapper on set, and he's great at working with the cast, and he's great at working with the crew. It's really quite extraordinary to watch.
What was your the actual like blocking and tackling of writing with him like?
Oh, yeah. That's yeah. Okay, we got to. All right, and this isn't. I'm not hiding this, but here's how you got to think of the way we did this project.
Yeah,
we co-conceived an idea. Okay, we met. We pitched each other 2 ideas, like 5 sentences. Hey, here's the tagline for my idea. Here's the tagline for his idea. At that meeting, we decided, okay, let's flesh out your idea, Knight. So we took Knight's idea and we spent the next hour and a half going over it. Who are the main character? What does he do for a living? Where does the story take place? Okay, who's a secondary character? Do we also need this? Oh, what is the story evolve into? So we just kind of hammered it out, very easy, casual, back and forth. Not everything was figured out, but okay, we felt like we had a pretty good idea. Well, didn't hear anything for 14 months until August of 2024. Yeah, just a year ago, August. Knight calls me and he says, hey, you know that story that we were talking about? I said, yeah. He says, well, I think that's going to be my next film. I said, okay, I guess I got to write a novel, right? And so that was it. So you got to think of this as like an egg that's been fertilized, okay? And then the egg splits. So we're not talking fraternal twins, 2 eggs fertilized. 1 egg, and then it splits. And then 1 egg goes off to be raised by one father, and the other egg goes off to be raised by someone else entirely different. So I wrote the novel. I mean, I remember looking at the script or going over the script with him as he's working on it. I'd say, Knight, this is great. This is going to be a fabulous movie. But this ain't going to work for a novel. So I got to change things up. And of course, he gets my novel and he say, hey, this is really a great novel. He says, but it's got some differences from the film. I say, of course it does. So this is the story we conceived, raised by 2 different fathers. And so he really didn't write a single word in the novel. And I didn't do a single word in the script or tell him how to direct. Even when it came to notes, I was more of a cheerleader. I figured, look, you'll figure it out or he won't, right? This is his baby. He's done this as long as I've done this. So I figure, okay, he'll figure it out. So I was more of a cheerleader, and then writing the book, he was more of a cheerleader.
So you one will read the book and then they watch the movie and they'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I mean,
exactly.
That's going to happen. That's baked in.
Of course, that is exactly right. Now, of course, the main characters are the same, secondary characters are the same, settings the same. All of these things are the same, right? But what I won't answer is the ending the same? Ooh. Oh, no. I will tell you that Knight and I had discussions about the ending because Knight, wants his audience to be surprised. So can't tell you if the ending is the same.